What is up, Frugalnauts? FrugalBC coming at you again with another live stream. We've been starting to do these on Monday nights, just a little bit easier for me. I've tended to have a lot of stuff going on the weekend right now, but yeah, we got a great show for you today. We're looking at a lot of stuff today, so let's just run down what we got. I'm going to tell you what we got coming here. Obviously, well, Algo and NFTs. Algo NFTs is shutting down. Another Algorand project shutting down. Of course, we're going to look at the crazy crypto crash, and Algo got hit pretty hard. Starting to make a little bit of a comeback, though. We'll look at that. Huge dropouts from Algorand governance, but that's going to pave the way for higher returns for folks. Take a little deep dive into that. Gary Gensler's BS will finally come to light in this deep dive on the Coinbase situation. I think we're seeing some stuff out of him now that's kind of revealing where this whole thing is coming from. A little scandal involving Moonpay and them doing some gifting with Bored Ape NFTs to boost their profile. Going to take a look at that news and look at a new money market fund that is using Hedera. That's a tokenized money market on the Aberdeen protocol. And then we're going to look at Near Protocol making huge strides in the South Korean market. Two different pieces of news there to share, kind of all in one segment. So anyway, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Hope everyone's having a great day today. Just going to pull this up. Now, remember, at any time you can leave questions for me in the chat. I will answer them. Usually on a break between news items. So we're going to go through the news items, and if you ask questions or feel free to comment, just say hi too. Always appreciate it. Love that. Like, subscribe if you're not subscribed. Really appreciate that, guys. All that stuff really helps grow the channel. Helps keep me wanting to do this. It's I've really enjoyed doing these live streams. I love bringing you this news and just kind of breaking it down a little bit. So leave that in the chat when you find anything interesting you want to say. Otherwise, let's see. We got. I do have some merchandise. This hat right here, you can look as cool as me, or let's be honest, probably a lot cooler. You can find a link in the description, or sometimes it shares that little box, or at least it's supposed to. Where you can get this hat and other stuff with the logo on it. So I always appreciate all those. And check out the description in my channel. Lots of crypto deals, including Lofty AI. You can get $25 in tokens, and I will too when you sign up and hold tokens for a certain amount of time. Now, I've talked about it. Lofty has done okay for me lately. It's been a little troubling with the number of properties that aren't paying rent right now. A lot of them are replenishing reserve funds, that kind of stuff. Kind of shows you some of the challenges of being a property owner. So it's kind of nice to have at least someone else worrying about that. So all I have to worry about is the returns, which haven't been great on the cash flow side, but the coins are still appreciating in value because the Midwest has been doing pretty good with properties. Probably due for another review on that one soon. Yeah, that's about it. So let's get into let's just look at the prices. Let's get right to that, huh? Anybody in the chat? Nobody in the chat. Remember, don't be shy, guys. Anytime you want to leave anything in the chat, feel free. Chat is open. All right, here we are on crypto. Here we are on the crypto charts from CoinMarketCap. Bitcoin is now at around 7%. Just a little over even on the 7-day, which is not where it was not that long ago because we had a pretty significant crash last week. Ethereum's still down 4%. You're going to see a lot of varying ranges from next to nothing to Cardano at like 21% down. Solana too, big dip, as well as Polygon. So these are not bad. I'm not giving you financial advice, but these are times when I'm like looking at. I'm going to pick up some stuff because we're going to get it's a substantial discount. I think anything under $10 with Cosmos is a great deal. I love Cosmos, and it's actually down in the $7 range, so it kind of missed the dip a little bit. Yeah, we had a big dip, and there's still time. So, but anything from 10 to 20% down. Just trying to find some of the coins we cover. Hedera in 33rd place. If in terms of market cap, it's at 4.5 cents. Now that had been at 5 cents before for a long time, so that one's down a little bit, down 7%. Not as bad as some of the stuff on here. Still hoarding 33rd in the market cap. Aptos didn't do so well, 22% down. E-chain down 15, and near down almost 20%. That was a rough one, down to $1.20. I remember buying a lot of near at $1.71, so that's a significant discount right now, and that's actually fallen a bit. That's getting close to that number 40 spot. That was up a lot higher. But then our friend Algorand, now it's back to 33rd. I believe it had been as low as 46 in the market cap, and you can see it's kind of neck and neck between these from 43rd down to 47. Not a big difference there, right? Um, we're looking at not even 100,000 between 43rd and 47. In fact, all the way down to the top 50, still not $100,000 difference, or excuse me, 100 million difference in market cap. Now these were all over 1 billion before, so, or maybe not all over, but at least Algorand certainly was. It was over 1 billion in market cap. So you can see how much we've fallen. It's now at 11 cents. It was down to 10 cents. So quite a dip there. But good news is that it's climbing back up a little bit. It was down like, what was it, high 20s? It was down at one point. I mean, it was quite a dip, and then now it's popped back up. Now some haven't, like this rocket pool. You can see it's kind of dipped and gone sideways. Same with BitDAO. Aave kind of looks like that. Multiverse kind of popped up a little bit, but this is a good sign for Algorand. This is good to see. We want to see something like this. Um, let's just look at the ASA charts now. And as you guys know, if you follow this a lot, I don't pay a lot of attention to ASAs anymore. I've kind of stopped. I kind of just went away from them. I don't think they're very helpful. You can see my Algorand DeFi experiment where I show you why that's not such a good thing. And you can see these are kind of all over the place. Now, Coop coin is up at number 4. This was a meme coin started by the Coop Daniels of the Recoup channel. And I still don't fully understand what's going on with that. He's got some kind of weird performance art thing he's been doing along with it. So I don't really get it, but it's doing pretty good. It's about half the price of Algorand right now. Could a little more than half the price of Algorand for a coin that you just made up that doesn't do anything. It's basically a meme coin, and that's where it's at. So that's what's going on with Algorand. It's a DeFi down, chips up on the week, Opulus up on the week. Prestige is doing a lot better. Votecoin is. Yieldly is up. Still, you remember that one was like 2 cents? I remember when Yieldly was like 2 cents, and now it's like 0.00006 cents. So that one's fallen a lot. We don't get just a reminder on Vestige, we don't get the 7-day percentages. We just see the chart. So I really wish they had 7-day on here because I don't care about 1 hour and 1 day, and then 7 days would be better. Cosmic Gold down a little bit. That one's sitting at a little over a penny. Was up to 10 cents at one point. Now this is the new version of Cosmic Gold, so I didn't even bother getting it. I probably should, but I haven't. So that is that. Let's see what's going on now. I have to. Well, I probably could here. I can look at it. I just can't do anything with it. Yeah, Vince Alvary. Well, welcome to the show, Vince. He says, yeah, it's hard to figure out which ones to pick up at these prices. Yeah, it's tricky. I mean, you gotta stick with projects that you believe in, and knowing what that isn't always easy these days. It just isn't. Caleb picked up some more Hedera and Sol. So looking at stacks, but unsure. Yeah, I so Hedera for sure. I'm definitely going to be picking up some more HBAR. I really like what I'm seeing from them. I'm liking seeing the adoption of real world projects, and something about the fact that these major companies partner with a chain like this, and it's not a blockchain; it's a consensus hash graph, kind of a different thing, but similar. And yeah, it gets tricky, but something that they see, there's something that these companies see in Hedera that made them want to join on board, and that makes me very, very bullish for HBAR. So a lot of good stuff there. Caleb Houston, welcome to the channel, Caleb. Appreciate it. Comet is breaking my heart. Yeah. So Comet is one of the ones on my DeFi experiment, and it has not been going well. Comet is one of the ones I actually hold too. So yeah, it's pretty rough. And then Caleb says Coop has been a fun ride. Yeah, really interesting stuff. I don't fully understand it, but at least it's giving people something to be positive about because it's pretty rough in the bear market. People get down, they start feeling bad, and I get it. It's not easy. The one thing about crypto is crypto is investing emotions times 1,000. So I know this might sound weird coming from a crypto guy, but I actually think people should invest in index funds and just kind of get used to the ups and downs a little first, because actually going through it, understanding it intellectually, and actually going through it, totally different thing. When it's your actual money in there and you're seeing it going down, it's tough to watch. It's easy to say, well, I know it'll come back up eventually, and I know I just have to hang tight. That's really, really easy to say when it's just not your money, but when your money's in it, pretty tough. All right, let's get to our first news show. AlgoNFTs.art announced that it's going to be closing down yet another project that's collapsing on Algorand. We've been seeing a lot of those in the last 6 months. I've heard some are just kind of paring down. I believe Alchemon has been paring down a bit. That's what I've been told. I don't want to say that for 100% fact, but yeah, AlgoNFTs.art. Let's take a look at this. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Here we go. So AlgoNFTs.art, their Twitter account starts off, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry about this. AlgoNFTs.art and VRF Shuffle will be shutting down by the end of the month so that I can avoid the server and IPFS fees, which are around $300. So it kind of gives me a sense of what it takes to start one of these. It's not free. It seems the VRF Shuffle has been more broken by a recent network change or something. I have not heard any problems related to it for many months. Now suddenly 3 groups are doing a shuffle and all are quite broken to a new degree. The reality is that it never worked perfectly, and even when it had worked well, it was awkward because of the way that VRF works, requiring you to buy in ahead of time. Really interesting stuff. I didn't know a lot about this. I have a contract in progress related to AI, and if I can deliver it tomorrow, I will receive another substantial payment. Whereas if I can fix the shuffle, I will be lucky to make $50 in the next few weeks. So it sounds like he's more interested in working on an AI project, and I kind of can't blame him if everyone's got to pay bills, right? Because there's almost nothing coming in. I've lost around $500 plus over the last few months on the services related to Algo NFTs and the VRF shuffle. I lose even more as support requests come in. Interesting. So does it cost him every time a support request comes, he has to do more work on it or something? Interesting. The reality is that I just can't afford it. I just don't have the resources to make this type of donation to the community, no matter how much I appreciate you. It seems, yeah, that's really interesting. And I never really thought about the costs that go behind it. That'd be something that'd be really interesting to look into. So Governor had suggested that maybe he submit something for funding for XGov, and he said, I'm considering it. XGov looks great, but that seems like it may be a ways down the road before they're actually funding proposals. Yeah, it'll probably take a while because it's not till the next cycle, which will start in July. So I assume you have to go through the whole thing, so they probably won't get money till October. So that's probably going to be. I'm interested in talking business, but you aren't making contact easy. Just message me on Twitter or on Discord, which I can help you. So I'm really curious, what this. Not, I fully admit I had not heard of this until I heard it was shutting down. This is not one of the ones that I saw a lot of people talking about, and you can see they only had 728 followers. So let's just take a look really quick. So this is what it looked like. not the slickest looking website. Does it run on? Hmm. Well, I mean, there's just a lot slicker. I hate to be, it sounds like this guy was kind of doing this out of love, so I can't totally blame him, but this just doesn't look like a very good site compared to a lot of the other ones that just look a lot. Frankly, they just look a lot better and a lot easier to use. I don't mean to be a jerk, but um, I can kind of see why, if that's what it looked like. So, I mean, it's always sad to see like some of these go, and I'm starting to wonder some bigger ones are going to start going. Kamina had a huge layoff not that long ago, and things are not going well for it. So, I'm going to be tracking that one, especially since we are tracking that one in our weekly Algorand DeFi experiment. You can check out the weekly videos every week on Friday. I've been posting those and see how those goes. But this is what happens in the bear market. You get a lot of people that just get kicked off, and it's a bummer when it's someone that seems like they're just doing it because they love doing it. It's not really like they're not like forming a big company or anything. They're just trying to. But I look at this and I'm like, okay, I don't even know. There's like you have to set in a password or make a commonic phrase. I mean, I kind of don't know where I would start or how I would use this, so I can kind of see why maybe this isn't doing so well. But still sad to see anyway. Let's see what else is going on. Get a drink of water. Trying to do that as off camera as I can. This one's interesting. Apparently, a whole lot of people are abandoning governance this period, maybe more than usual. Let's take a look. GovZen has a nice breakdown. Friend of the channel here. Oops. Help if I actually share it, wouldn't it? So 1 second here. Nope, not that one. It's weird because the order is like all over the place on my interface. Okay, GovZen said, good morning, Algo fam. 50 million Algo dropped out of Algorand governance over the past 24 hours. This is a few days ago now. I wish you well, ex-govs. Curious how many were ex-govs. How many of you were ex-govs? Get it, ex-gov versus ex-gov. The ex-gov is the new program for Algorand. Said in related news, less than a week left for the current period voting window. Only 33% of the votes are locked in. Understand waiting to do your own research, but don't let the deadline, which is June 14th, by the way, pass you by. Top right, courtesy voting Algorand.observer. Yeah, June 14th. So if you want to vote on Algorand governance and you're in it, now, I signed up. I'm not really a big fan of governance anymore. This is one area where I think Governor Zen and I disagree on, but I'm just not a big fan of it. I just don't think it has a lot of utility for the average person. I think there's easier ways to earn passive income than governance. And I just don't think you're getting for that the time you're putting in for the dollars you're putting in. You're just not getting anything out of it. You don't really have a say because the whales are going to decide everything. So anyway, Coinbase assures business as usual, confirming it will not be ending staking service or delisting any coins in response to the latest suit from the SEC. But Algo is off, so keep that in mind. I don't think they've talked about why. But anyway, I think that 50 million thing is interesting. Let's just take a look at the stats here. And we're going to do that via Algorand stats. It'll take me just a little while to pull that up here. This is really nice because we'll be able to see the charts. Yeah. So look at how much governance has gone up to 6%. That was way lower before. DeFi is at like 9%. So the thing is, when people leave, when there are fewer governors, that means there are more. Oh, maybe it didn't go up really that much. Well, it's up only 0.41%. So yeah, I guess it isn't really up that much. But it does when governors leave, the fewer governors or fewer algo that's in it, the more rewards for everyone else. But this is like the period rewards, 1.52 and 2.3. I don't know. It's nothing that really gets me that excited. So a total of 191 million algo have left, and 52 million algo out of DeFi. The problem too is that like it kind of locks you in, so you can't really make any moves with your algo. So 32,000 governors. I thought there was more than that. So that's 34. There was 34 to start with, according to this, and plus around 9,000 DeFi governors. I thought I remember seeing a lot more than that, but so yeah, that one day you can see from the one day there clearly was a huge dip, and that was right around here. This is what he's talking about, where it dipped from, yeah, that's about 50 million, about 70 million within a couple days. What you're gonna see here too, by the way, is there anything more to show? Not really. You can see who's eligible, but yeah, what you're going to see typically is like at the end of the vote, there's just going to be a certain number of people that don't vote in governance for whatever reason. And then so you'll see this huge dip at the end of the voting period, which, like I said, is June 14th. So get your votes in. Don't be one of the, if you're going to participate, you might as well go through the whole thing and get your rewards, you know? And then just to anticipate another thing that always happens, make sure you get when it ends. It usually takes 7 days to get your rewards. So like every single time, which ends June 30th. So it'll probably take about till July 7th or so to get your rewards. So just hang tight. They're coming. It always takes a little while. But I see that question every time, every governance period when it ends. People are like, "Where's my rewards?" It takes a little while, but all right. And welcome to all the new viewers we have watching. And just a reminder: anytime you have anything interesting you want to say, any questions, let me know. Let me know in the comments. I try to answer everything that comes in when I can. Super chats are always appreciated, not necessary. Been getting a couple lately, and I really appreciate that. Always fun. So, and if you're not subscribed to the channel, I'd love it if you do so. And like I always say, you don't have to smash it. You can just press it gently. Well, let's dig into this Coinbase situation because I think this stuff is really interesting, and this has been an ongoing thing. So I know like the big hammer kind of came down recently, but Coinbase for a very long time has been asking for regulatory clarity. They've been wanting to follow the law. They were served with a Wells notice, which precedes a complaint. They tried to get clarification on the Wells notice, and the SEC refused. Now, if you're a regulatory body and you're covering an organization and you issue them, you say, hey, we want you to be in compliance. And the organization that you're working to says, great, what can we do to be in compliance? And you say, we're not going to tell you. Does that make a lot of sense? And when we pair that with the fact that we have Elizabeth Warren partnering with Gary Gensler, giving him the question she's going to ask beforehand, basically coordinating the response, which is like fraud, by the way. They've been caught doing that. And Elizabeth Warren has come out like hugely against crypto, which is also really weird. I guess it shouldn't surprise me that crypto has become like a political football, but it doesn't. I don't see a really obvious, oh, this would be a left wing thing or this would be a right wing thing. That's why I'm really confused about it. But anyway, let's get into recent news because, as you know, Coinbase has now been served with a actual complaint, not just a Wells notice. We'll start with Brian Armstrong and just explaining. Okay, regarding the SEC complaint against us today, we're proud to represent the industry in court to finally get some clarity around crypto rules. Just what I was saying, they're looking for clarity. Remember, the SEC reviewed our business and allowed us to become a public company in 2021. Now, remember, they're a public company, and I saw someone on Twitter once say, like, well, why does that matter? Well, it does matter because they have to go through an immense amount of scrutiny and due diligence when you become a public company. It means you're going to be filing You're going to be filing public reports about your finances. There's a lot of stuff that's now going to be public that wouldn't be when you're a private company. There is no path to come in and register. We tried repeatedly, so we don't list securities. We reject the vast majority of assets we review, right? SEC and CFTC have made conflicting statements and don't even agree on what is a security and what is a commodity. Important point. This is why the US Congress is introducing new legislation to fix the situation, and the rest of the world is moving to put clear rules in place to support this technology. And this is a really important point I want to bring up, because this is something that's happening in the US. Around the world, they're putting in those regulations. So what this means is that the US, and I apologize to my viewers in other countries this won't apply to, but in the US where Coinbase is, we're going to be falling behind. And the US just isn't going to be the leader of the world anymore if this keeps happening, because it's not just crypto. It's like everything. We can't even get housing right. I mean, there's places that have so much red tape around housing that people are homeless because there's no places to live, and it's too expensive because there's so few places. Everything gets jacked up. Yeah, it's terrible. So I just think that's really important. And so he says, instead of publishing a clear rule book, the SEC is taking a regulation by enforcement approach that is harming America. So if we need to avail of ourselves of the court to get clarity, so be it. I think that is one thing that's really positive about this. It's like, well, if you're going to take it to court, now the court can decide, right? By the way, in case it's not obvious, the Coinbase suit is very different from the others out there. The complaint filed against us is exclusively focused on what is or is not a security. We are confident in our facts and the law, he says. Which I think it's really important. This is a good time to, let's look at this one. Which ones are they talking about? Let's take a look at that. This one? Nope. Not that one. Where is it? Here it is. Took me a second. The SEC has named these 19 tokens as securities throughout the Binance plus Coinbase filings. This could have massive implications for these tokens and the industry as a whole. So these are the coins. So the ones that are in both are Solana, ADA, which is Cardano, Polygon, Filecoin, Sand from Sandbox, Mana, Algorand, and I don't know what AX is. That Axie Infinity, AXS? I know Axie came up in the coin. I know for the Coinbase one, sure. Atom in Binance, BNB, BUSD, Cody, all those in Binance, and then Coinbase. Is it Chaz? CHZ? I don't know that one. Near, Flow, ICP, VGX, Dash, and Nexo. So all of those are considered securities now. By the way, they've had a really long time to name these securities. So interesting that they're first doing it now. By the way, also interesting that they're going after exchanges that seem to be largely doing things right, at least from Coinbase's perspective. Meanwhile, Gary Gensler was meeting with Sam Bankman-Fried at FTX repeatedly and didn't do a thing about that. Very interesting, I think. Well, let's see. We got more stuff to get through. I don't even know where that went. Oh, that one. So then Adam Cochran had this to say, which I think was rather interesting. So here's a breakdown of the SEC complaint. So it advocates that since 2019, it's been an unregistered broker. Kind of a weird year to pick. So, because what changed in 2019 versus prior years? Now, there was a time period where Coinbase seemed to kind of loosen up on the coins that it carried. I don't think that was 2019, though. And like I said, they were still pretty careful to make sure they were selecting coins that they didn't believe was a security under law. But again, there's no clarity. And then it claims that it's a clearing agency, which I believe is a stretch. Unregistered broker claim for Coinbase Prime as a prime broker for digital assets. Still a weakish claim, but the naming convention hurts them. Claiming Coinbase Wallet, which is non custodial, is a broker because users can use DeFi is insane and new. Yeah. Imagine that. Dude, it's a non custodial wallet. It's how can it be a broker? It's like saying your wallet in your pocket is a broker. It's ridiculous. Wildly claims Coinbase made the circulated business decision to ignore the law. Again, there has been no, they're publicly documented, as he points out here, as looking for guidance on the law, yet somehow he's ignoring the law. It's crazy. This is how ridiculous all this is. Staking program started in 2019, seems the main linchpin here. Boy, I swear they had that earlier, but maybe not. SEC is basing their case on this and trying to smuggle the weaker cases of assets in with this, which is why it starts in 2019. Yeah, something around the staking program really seems to be where they're staking their case on. Now, he says it's admittedly tougher. The current model of staking, which is direct pass through of rewards with variable fees, probably okay, although novel and complex. Prior ones could have been more gray area, which is the case. Which, if is the case, is a fine and dropping that offering. Yeah, it's not a big deal, but I still don't think they're doing a pass through because, dude, I'm getting like 20% on my Atom right now, just staking directly, and you get like 4% or 5% or something like that on Coinbase. So I don't know about that. That way, you guys are really quiet. You can always chime in on stuff. Seeking relief in the form of fines and dropping those services, very different than the Binance case, not seeking to bar anyone from operating. True. Gensler once again relying on his own definition of the Howey test, which no court has upheld, specifically saying it's flexible rather than static principle. It is A, but yeah, okay. Also notes that orange groves have been found to be vehicles for investment contracts. That's just not true. The contract to acquire rights to the future profit of the orange grove was the security. That never turned the orange groves themselves into securities. Yeah, good point. Good point. Yeah, so kind of embarrassing that he doesn't understand securities law. The next few sections highlight the requirements to register, although conveniently leave out that no one can register as a crypto exchange with them. So you were mad that you can't register. By the way, also no way for you to register. Seems pretty convenient, huh? They lean on historical ICOs as grounds for things being securities. Now remember, they actually shut down ICOs, so you can't do them anymore. That was when did that happen? That was a while ago that they did that. I remember I went in an ICO for Electronium. I still got that somewhere, but it's like it's so worthless. It's like who cares? But I put like $1. I think I put like $1.50 into it, so not a huge loss. That's called asymmetrical upside, by the way. I've talked about that numerous times. When you can put a small amount in for possible huge gains, that is asymmetrical upside. This is the first time SEC has said a self-custodied wallet is a broker-dealer because it can help route a transaction. Again, nonsense. Notes Coinbase solicits customers for trades, which is true and only relevant if the assets are securities. Let's say all customer funds. Yeah, so we don't need to go through this whole thing. I think you get the idea. But the point is, like, I really think these suits, I don't know about Binance. I have less familiarity with them. I've never used them. But the suit against Coinbase has always seemed ridiculous. Coinbase, at least publicly, has been stating that they want to try to do the right thing and have been trying to do the right thing all along. Whether you believe them or not, I don't know. I'm just going to end this little segment here with one more thing that I think is interesting. This little video, hopefully it plays. Oops. I don't think we need the sound. 30 times. 90% of assets are rejected. The Howey test, 1946. Gonna put $1 million jobs overseas. I think they should have commas in there. 33 countries have bills establishing crypto rules, and we do not. I say we, I'm talking about the US. Yeah, so really, really interesting stuff. I find this very, it's just disturbing. It's like, it's the politics of it are so naked and obvious, and they think we're stupid that we don't see through this. It's ridiculous. Delio says solid algo holdings. Smack my head. Freaking Gary goes from supporting algo to calling the security. Yeah, it's particularly with algo. Gary Gensler had been on stage and said really, really great things about Algorand. So good point. I didn't have that in here, but he was saying that he liked Algorand. Remember, he actually taught a cryptocurrency class. So that makes this whole thing really bizarre. Now, supposedly, he was trying to get a advisor role with Binance, which is really that's really interesting, and then was rejected. He actually met with CZ in Japan, I believe, is what I read, and then got rejected. So now he's going after Binance. Like you should be disqualified. I mean, you should have to recuse yourself from any enforcement action with Binance if you were trying to seek a job from them and were rejected. Obviously, you'd have a biased motive, right? Yeah, kind of. But it's very weird. Yeah, he was a big Algorand guy, then totally switched, and now Algorand's a security. Was named in that Bittrex suit a while ago. Now also named in Coinbase and the Binance suit. Well, that's my little rant for today. But let's see what else we got. Here's a little happy HBAR news. We like HBAR here. Actually, before I do that, yeah. So Aberdeen, a company Aberdeen, tokenizes money market fund using the Hedera hashgraph network. Let's take a look at this one. I'm assuming that's pronounced Aberdeen. I have no idea. It says tokenize the money market fund on Hedera with Archax. Isn't that's like straight up stock art, right? Major UK asset manager Aberdeen has launched its first blockchain-based investment by tokenizing part of the 15 billion pound Lux sterling money market fund. The token was issued on the Hedera Hashgraph DLT, where Aberdeen is on the governing council. I didn't know that. That was one of the ones I would have seen and just not knowing, so I wouldn't have registered. I was thinking like Google, LG, all that stuff. It used the ArchX tokenization engine to mint the token. We made the investment in the ArchX because we see the future for financial markets lies with leveraging new technologies such as Web3 and DLT, said Russell Barlow, global head of alternatives at Aberdeen. Global head of that's an awesome title. I want to be global head of alternatives. Like, what is that even? I love it. It is exciting. I'm naming myself the global head of alternatives at the FrugalBC channel. There we go. It is exciting to see a tangible application of Archax's tokenization engine working with Hedera, and it paves the way for us looking for, blah, 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 blah. What does it actually do? So Archax has three arms: a regulated exchange or multilateral trading facility, its tokenization engine for issuance, and a custody subsidy based on technology from Medico. So apparently they're gonna, or they were gonna. Well, they must have already issued the tokens in April. I thought this was a news story. Yeah, it's just working on some regulatory permissions, and that's that. So this is a major UK asset manager. It's the very first one to issue tokenized security in the UK. That's pretty cool. Not a huge big story, but kind of cool. Hey, cardamom, Cara de Mono, what's going on? What, my friend? There you go. Get your what. And you're speaking to the global head of alternatives for FrugalBC. So there you go. Oh, I didn't even talk about this one, but it appears that BitBoy crypto was hacked, and there's a little bit of controversy around this. Which, since BitBoy is involved, not a surprise. Oops, not that. Here we go. So this is from AJ Crypto, and yeah, there was a. I didn't find the one that was saying this isn't true, but AJ says, let's make this clear. This confirms that BitBoy Crypto was hacked. Makes me sick how many people are running with this egregious lie when the proof is right here. They're willingly ignoring what is right in front of them. Now, what's he talking about? I'll show you with my. We'll come back to that in a second here. Gotta get a new banner, I think. Oh, looks like the original tweet was taken down, but this was from WhaleWire, and he said that he did not believe that BitBoy Crypto is hacked. Yet did not provide any proof of that. Meanwhile, here's the proof. We have Zach XBT, which does some he does some really good on-chain analysis. He says, update, the same group has now gained access to BitBoy's Twitter account and has stolen another 700,000. So let me see. Let's take a look at this. It says, thank you, Ben Nation, for making a screw the SEC token a success. You must have 20% of the tokens available to claim, after which the portal will be closed. Stay tuned for more updates. So I'm assuming that they took over his account and then made this fake coin and then got people to invest in the coin, probably rug pulled. Is that what we're looking at here? These are reports that this address is used in a phishing scam. Reported by, well, Zach is the one that reported it, but apparently this is the one that did it. So, yep, stole some funds using BitBoy's name. But that's verified on chain. So let me tell you, by the way, just to be clear, you are never going to see a coin from me. So I'm just never going to do it. I don't want that stress. There's no reason. There would never be a reason for me to do it. So if you ever see a pretend me going around asking for FrugalBC coin, it doesn't exist. Okay. It's not real and it's a scam, and just forget it. And you can see BitBoy is actually trending now too. Interesting. So even if someone else creates it, I'm not going to mess around with it. Let's see. Okay, so one more. Let me just get a drink of water. So just for fun right now, there's all the coins are pretty much on sale. Everything's kind of in the dumps right now, which means they're on sale, which means you can, it's a good time to scoop up some coins. Let me know in the chat what coins you're going to scoop up. Which ones are you interested in buying in the next week or 2 weeks or whatever? Probably the next week, I would imagine, right? Leave it in the comments below. We'll read it. We'll find it. That's what we're going to do. Meanwhile, I'm going to set up this next story here. So I guess I didn't realize it, but apparently Near Protocol has become pretty big in South Korea. I found a couple of stories about things happening with Near in South Korea. So let's take a look at this. Okay, this first story is about Mirai Asset Securities and Near Protocol teaming up for blockchain techs. Both plan to develop Web3 ecosystem technology in the financial industry with global blockchain network. This comes via the Korea Economic Daily. South Korea's Mirai Asset Security announced on Thursday that it has signed a memorandum of understanding for collaborative research in blockchain technology with the global blockchain network Near Protocol. The Korean company stated that the purpose of this agreement is to strengthen the blockchain and Web3 partnership and expand the scope of technical collaboration. Near Protocol is a global blockchain network that provides developer-friendly tools and libraries to facilitate easy development and deployment of its decentralized applications. It's been rapidly growing, operating funds worth approximately 1.1 trillion won, which is about $843 million to fuel its network expansion. Apparently, it's attracted investments from well-known blockchain-focused investment firms like Coinbase Ventures, Andreessen Horowitz, which is A16Z, and Multicoin Capital. Definitely want to thumbs up the easy development and deployment of dApps. I don't know how many guys are using Near out there, but like the platform is really interesting because they kind of designed it so like the wallet is sort of a portal into itself to all the dApps and things. Definitely a unique approach. Very interesting. I kind of like it. I kind of like that it kind of puts it all in front of you. You don't have to go trying to find stuff. You know, it's just there. You can explore. When you're bored, you can go look through the Near thing and just find all these different things on the Near platform. So I think that's pretty cool. I'm a big fan of Near. And I'm glad. I wouldn't want everybody to do it that way, but I think it's kind of cool that Near does it that way. And then this other one. And this is to do with Korean gaming. It looks like we got some ones coming in. Right after this Korean thing, we'll get to that, I promise. Near Protocol continues to accelerate market share in Korean Web3 gaming industry by becoming the first ever to integrate with Netmarble's subsidiary MarbleX Warp Bridge. So basically, the ipso facto, Near Foundation signed a strategic partnership with MarbleX, a blockchain-focused subsidiary of Netmarble. Near Protocol aims to mutually grow with the gaming space as the first to integrate with Warp Bridge. With heavy emphasis on Korean hub, Near Protocol strives to lead the fast-growing Korean Web3 industry. So I'm sort of curious, like how fast is it growing? Do they have something on that? MarbleX is a blockchain-powered subsidiary, a well-established developer and publisher of mobile games comprising more than 6,000 experts from across the globe. Interesting. MarbleX aims to bring the highest quality blockchain games to market by providing key services such as cryptocurrency wallet, decentralized exchange, token staking, and an NFT marketplace. So I think the fact that instead of like in the lead, instead of saying, well, it's a subsidiary of Netmarble, I'd say like, here's what they actually do. That's what readers want to know. But very, very interesting that Near apparently is really working its way into the South Korean market. I was always a big fan of Japan. I've gone there several times. I speak it to roughly. I don't even like saying I'm fluent because I don't think I am fluent. I'm something in between. Something where I know enough Japanese to be somewhat useful. And Korean is always the language that trips me up because it sounds just enough. It's structurally just enough that it sounds like it's like, wait, I should understand that, but I don't understand a word. And then I realize it's Korean. So unlike Chinese, where it's tonal and totally different, Korean and Japanese have the same kind of sentence structure where the verb comes at the end, which takes a whole lot of time to get used to. But enough of my blathering about Japan. That's something I'd really like to do a deep dive on too. Is like what projects are really big in other countries like Korea or Japan. Japan would be a fun one for me because I'm a huge fan of Japan. I know Algorand, there's a good Algorand community in Japan. Let's see, Delios, say welcome to the channel, Delios. I'm interested in the EWT Energy Web Token. Did I say hi to you before? Oh, you're new. Yeah, welcome. Oh, you were talking about selling the algo holdings because of Gary, yeah. Cara de Momo says Polygon is severely undervalued. I agree. I think that's a good time to buy Polygon, but also deem that it's a security. So have been a lot. Solana, the fact that that happened doesn't mean it's like the end for them, by the way. Just want to be clear. Like, it could mean that this it just represents some fear, which made people sell, which means they're going to get a deal, and those might go up in the future. You don't know. You really don't know. You're always taking a risk with crypto, especially in these times. So we got to be really careful, really mindful, and just thoughtful about the approach that we take. But all right, well, I got through all my news items and not really seeing anything else, any comments or anything. So, well, guys, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate everyone who's joined the live stream today. I think we had a good time. I think we got some good comments, some good news, and yeah, good stuff. So thanks, guys. Take care. Remember, not your keys, not your crypto. Zahid just chimed in saying unlimited scam crypto tokens exist. Well, they definitely do. There's definitely a lot of scam tokens out there. So be mindful. I tend to stick with the top 50 if, maybe not even that far. Although Algorand, we got to do a lot of Algorand stuff, and that's barely in the top 50 these days. But so remember, not your keys, not your crypto. Ledger for maximum safety. I got to get linked down below for where you can get your own Ledger device. And as always, I'm FrugalBC. Stay safe out there, and I will see you in the future.